Yeah.
I'd like to call the general committee meeting for November the 10th, 2022, 6:30 p.m. For Hendersonville, Tennessee to order, and go around the room, and each and everyone here, please tell us who you are and who you represent.
I'm Jonathan Hayes. I'm Alderman for Ward 5.
Keith Free, the planning director for the city of Hendersonville.
Aaron Dixon, Alderman, Ward 4.
Rachel Collins, Alderman, Ward 5.
Jesse Eckenroth, Chief of Operations. Jason Gallo, Administrative Services.
Lee Peterson, Alderman, Ward 2.
Karen Peel, Avenida Partners.
Jim Waters, Alderman, Ward 6.
I'm Steve Brown, Alderman, Ward 4. Thank you all for being here. We have one thing on our agenda, but we need to approve our minutes from October 11th, 2022 before we get to that.
So moved. I'll second it.
Mr. Waters and Mr. Hayes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, ordinance and resolutions. Reading of resolution 2022-47 is a resolution to appeal the Hendersonville Planning Commission's decision to deny the Avenada at Indian Lake, also known as the Album, setback variance request and associated carport site plan. I've got a question for you. Why Avenada and why Album? It has nothing to do with this, and I'm just a curious question.
So Avenida Partners is the owner, and
Okay,
then we actually hire Graystar to manage our communities. And Album is their brand that they brand all these type of communities. So we decided for this one to fall under their brand. It has nothing to do with music,
Yeah.
Nashville, and that's just their brand, Album.
okay, thank you. I mean, when I read this, I thought I've got to figure that out. So.
We get a question a lot.
Mr. Free, I think I'll let you fly on this one.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Chairman. This is something that it's kind of different. I don't think since I've been here, we've quite had this happen. But what it is this particular project is located in a planned development in Indian Lake Village. And so since it's a planned development, it's a little bit different than like what a regular site plan would be. And this is an item that came back for revision of the site plan to the planning commission. And so when we have planned developments, it's all kind of flexible. And so the planning commission, would have the ability, there's a 20-foot setback on that rear and this carport. It's not a garage, but it's carport, so it's still considered a structure. There's parking already there on the plan, and actually, I think it's already constructed. And then they're wanting to construct this carport over portions of it, so there'd be some covered parking. But in doing that, then that puts the structure where the parking is. The landscape area would still stay the same, so I think it's 7 foot, and they have trees and everything there in that buffer. And so all of that would stay the same. And so at the planning commission, it was discussed, and actually it ended up, sometimes this happens, we had a 4-4 tie. And since it was a tie, then a tie is a no. And so then Avenida Partners looking at it, asking what would be the procedure to move forward to appeal, then just appealing that to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. So that's why it's here. It's here this evening. I will note though, gave everybody, we received from Avenida today, something from the adjacent property owner that's in the back, on the back side of that, where the vacant property is. If you park over there on that road, right over by, what is that?
Firehouse.
By Firehouse Subs and
Culvers.
Culvers, you can see the whole back of the Album property, and back there on that back is where some of those carport structures would be. So that's kind of where that is. But that big vacant lot, that's that letter that I had just given everybody about them supporting that they don't have a problem with it being there. Is on that property that is adjacent to it. There's nothing planned for that at this particular point in time, right up against there. But whenever something does develop there, there is about a 20-foot buffer, not necessarily a setback, but a 20-foot buffer on that other side. So that whenever something does develop over there, then a 20-foot buffer is what the expectation would be. So, and I think the representative developers here can answer any questions. I'll be happy to answer any questions that anybody would have.
What was the concern of the four commissioners that voted no?
Alderman Peterson was there. He's a great representative to the planning commission, serves on that. He maybe could speak to that. I could just say in the discussion, I think maybe for some of the folks that voted against it, I think some of the things that were expressed were, you know, maybe an overuse of maximizing the use of property where you're putting structures all over the property, not just here, but just in general. Concern, I think, about, well, if they granted this, then what if the next person, they want to do something like that? What would that do? And then I think maybe it was brought up that, well, if we grant this, then it takes away the opportunity for the other person to maybe want to do something if they want something granted, and we say, no, you can't do it because, you know, you're going to have that buffer. So I think those were the most things, but Alderman Peterson there may be something additional that you've heard.
Anything to add?
During that.
To add?
Well, for the record, I voted in favor of it, but I think one of the other concerns was how it would be viewed from the adjacent property.
Yeah.
But with the letter of recommendation from that property owner, I think that's a benefit for the committee to review.
That probably would have made a big difference at the meeting. Probably could have. It's possible.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, Mr. Warren.
I appreciate you putting this in Ward 6, but it's not. It's Ward 5.
It is after this,
Not now. It's not tonight.
right?
Then we're talking about.
Yes, I think it started out in Ward 6 and it kind of moved around. On
Yeah,
us.
it did.
Welcome to Ward 5.
Um,
Both great wards, by the way.
the chairman stole my thunder on the four that voted nay,
Uh-huh.
and I think you answered that correctly.
Okay.
So that's all I need. Thank you.
Okay.
Hayes,
I've been by the property. I spoke to Director Free about it before I went out there. And I think it's a good thing. I think I can support this.
I have a question. The land that is adjacent to it, what is it? What are the potential uses?
The potential uses on that, I think none of it's residential. I believe it's just a commercial, like big box retail, could be financial. Could be something, a financial institution there, could be medical offices and things like that. I think ideally, it could be any number of those things. I think for several years, the idea has been that it was going to be a big box type of thing. Of course,
that's what we want.
everything's changed with the box. I think ideally, probably years ago, I was probably thinking like something like Old Navy or Dick's Sporting Goods, you know, something of that kind of nature. But a lot of things have changed in the market over the last couple of years. So more than likely, the future would be financial institution, maybe restaurants, could be retail, could be
Hotel.
hotel. I think it actually could be a hotel there as well. So those are some of the things.
What about just a strip center?
Yeah, could be. Yeah, kind of like,
Without
yeah.
any change to it.
Yeah, could be something kind of like, you know, where Firehouse Subs and Crumble Cookie get the mattress store and all that stuff. Could be something like that. Could be a couple of those. It's a pretty big piece of property. So it
It'd
could
be
be,
part of the PUD though.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be all part of that. Okay, thank you.
I do have one. Will you go ahead?
Go.
Related to the carports and the HOA. Will there be rules from the HOA about boats or jet skis or, okay,
We don't allow any recreational vehicles just parked in any of our parking.
gotcha.
We try to encourage them to go park off-site, get some kind of parking.
I think that's good.
What are you gonna do with your jet ski?
I'll have to find another place.
Or they could rent a garage. We
Absolutely.
do have garages, so they could rent a garage. and put their-
Currently, do
You
you
could
have,
rent a garage and put your jet ski.
are there 4 garages right now or 6?
There are, well, we have 25 total, 5 banks of 5.
Okay,
then also something we didn't really discuss a whole lot, it's on the plans, but we didn't discuss a whole lot, but there are two other groupings of carports on either side of a garage. I think it's a garage.
It
It's
is.
on that back, so you know where this is on the far parking, right across the drive on that other parking. That's where there's already a garage, I believe.
Yes, there
And
is.
then there's two carports that are gonna be on either side of that.
Right.
So even if this wasn't approved, I guess that'll happen.
Our hope is to have 29 total. So this is 19,
Mhm.
the part on the exterior part, and then there's 10 towards the building,
Mhm.
flanking either side of a garage section, correct?
We have a constituent who agreed to move in there and signed a contract and has moved in
Oh,
and
really?
months ago, she mentioned she'd very much like to be able to have a carport for her car.
She did actually.
Yeah.
Carports, you know, given that our community is active adult, our medium age is around 70. I mean, we do have, you know, you could be 55 and move in, and we have some that are younger, but that's the relative age. And there's a lot of them that, you know, they're on fixed incomes. So they're very cautious about how much they're going to spend. Some of them want a garage. Some of them just want to be out of the elements when they get in and out of their car. So that's why carports are very popular in our different communities. You know, they just want to be able to pull in,
Take care of their things.
get out easily, and then easily get in the building. Yeah.
And one thing with the way the existing garages are out there and these proposed carports and the ones that aren't, you know, they don't need a variance on. They are spaced in such a way, it's not just like blanketing the whole edge of the property. There's some space and things, you know, in between them where you have the existing garages and things. So it fits the site well where the existing garages and things are. So,
It's been several months since our constituent talked to us, but didn't they also have a concern about lighting? So is the lighting
Oh, we have
around the
lots of
carport?
lights.
Yeah,
We have a lot of lights. We have obviously pole lights. We have lights on the buildings, all the garages. They're all on cells, so they come on in the evening. And then we have bollard lighting. The carports will have undermount lighting on all of them.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think if I remember, and I can't remember if it was you or Alderman Hayes, they talked to me about when one of you, they talked to me about that.
Yeah.
When you had been contacting, I was like maybe five,
It was,
might have been 5 months ago.
It was a long time.
and it was before the lights were even
Yeah.
installed,
I
so.
think it was before they were doing this, but I think where they were talking about the lights were on the streets of Indian Lake and that back parking.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was, if I remember
At
right,
the
it
shopping
was,
center.
it was between where the album is and then getting to over to the streets, that just the lighting in between is kind of what it was, which isn't a part of this particular development.
Hopefully just the lights now on our building will help illuminate that little corridor a little bit, because we do have a lot of lights. I actually the other day said, I feel like we could land planes. We have so many lights on this building. So, yeah.
Now you're gated all the way around, at least 3 of the sides.
It's
Is it-
it's controlled access, but I mean, it's not gated.
It's
so
not
you
a gated
can-
community. Okay.
Right, right. We do have fencing around. We try
Yeah.
to, you know,
It looks very nice.
So what I can, since you think it looks very nice, would that be a motion on your part? to
Yes,
approve this?
yes, I move approval.
I've never voted against the planning department. I've always supported them, but
I'll second it.
since they had a four tie, I'm gonna have to go along with the second motion.
That's pretty easy. All in favor?
Ah,
Any opposed? No.
If it'd been 5-4, I'd have to vote for you.
We have no
Appreciate
other
that.
agenda items, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second, all in favor?
ah,
Aye.
so you voted against it?
No.
Okay, no.
If I hate over here,
It's just going on your lease. Have they linked for you yet?
no, we've only been
I
open
didn't think-
3
I
months.
didn't figure out why. I got
So-
that.
And then you had the situation where you just had the first floor
It's nice brick.
that was released.
It's
You start
Yes.
filling, so that
In the
kind
beginning.
of, yes. So
When
that-
we had to add glass for the
Yeah.
elevator, fire doors,
Extra job.
at the elevator, the smoke doors.
Right.
Yeah, so we had to add the glass. So we got the first floor released, and then the following week,
we got the upper floor. space,
Drainage
Yeah.
actually gets out.
Yeah, or into 100.
It's doing great.
Do you,